So 250 highlights from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. The wild opening round for 250 East a couple of weeks ago in Detroit, where a first turn crash cost a lot of riders. Here's Austin Forkner brought, that's his own stuff for military appreciation.
Gear, right?
Yeah.
Into it. Said he's been in that the last couple of years, so cool to see that. Having fun with the fans, you know the fans love it.
Oh yeah, so whole shot in the main. Haiden Deegan really needed that. Had his teammate, rookie Nick Romano, with him. But Forkner with the red plate, your points leader, was on the charge early.
Yeah, what a difference from Detroit to this weekend. And this is what we wanted to see right here. These two, we talked about them being the favorites. I think there's a lot of speculation coming into this championship that we were going to watch these two battle it out, and we surely did here early on.
Seth Hamaker here on the 43 Monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki, making the move on Romano.
Seth riding well here early on, basically the whole race, especially at the beginning of this main event. Good to see Nick Romano out there getting some love. And then Cameron McAdoo, I thought if he was able to get by his teammate a little earlier, he maybe could have had a chance.
This section was getting difficult.
Yeah, you got to watch that. We talked about it during the race. This guy's having a tough time backsiding at tabletop.
Deegan's keeping some pressure on Forkner.
Yeah.
It's that same rhythm section that we showed you earlier.
Yeah,
he
kept them steady.
And here it is. Oh, brutal for Forkner while leading. Absolutely brutal crash onto the concrete.
Here's another look, and this was a very tricky start. So he comes up short. Okay, watch, his weight gets kicked forward, his feet gets kicked off the pegs, and his left hand comes off, and then he goes off track. You guys can see the rest of the result from that. You just hate to see it, and you see the emotion there. You know what's on the line. You know what he's been through the last 5 years, and you hate to bring it up, but you have to in our position sometimes, and I just hope that he's okay at this point. I don't even want to speculate.
And look at that. Deegan seems surprising. This is actually his first Supercross win, and that's how you celebrate it in the Deegan family with the Ghost Ride. That's what his dad did when he won a Supercross back in 1997.
Well, you wonder when it was going to come. And I was looking to see a type of ride like this. He did a great job, and he was right there before Austin Forkner fell down. So, and we still had some racing left. Anything could have happened. Did he get a gift? Yes, but he was in the right spot, and he played it perfectly.
He was applying pressure.
Yes.
See McAdoo on the podium, and Tom Vial from way back. He had a big crash.
Yes.
In that same rhythm section in qualifying.
Great job by them. And Pierce Brown, some notables. Pierce Brown and Seth Hamaker, great job by those two riders.
And Max Anstey was way back early, ends up 6th. That is important. We'll show you why in a moment. Here is just outside the top 10. Romano goes back to 12th. Forkner will finish 20th. They'll actually score 2 points for that. And also Jalek Swole was down in that rhythm lane. He did not finish this race either. Hope he's okay. Tough weekend for the Triumph team. So I mentioned Anstey's 6th is big, and here's why. He's the points leader. Brown has gone 5-5. He's second.
Yeah.
That's how crazy this 250 East has been.
Well, a lot of times you see this in the regional 250 championships, Jason, and that consistency is key. Unless you have an outright dominant guy that goes on, wins 5, 6, 7, 8 races out of the 9, or however many that they have in the East or the West. But this isn't unusual for me in a regional Supercross championship, just because of the inconsistency of these riders, and a lot of these guys are just learning too. You have some veterans in there that have been in it for a long time, and those guys are a bit more consistent. But the younger guys, that's why you see the points are just kind of like a roller coaster. Yeah,
no doubt. And I want to go all the way back to that first turn crash in Detroit, and it was interesting. I talked to Justin Cooper, who's now a 450 guy.
Yeah,
he's like, we didn't have any problems. Yeah. So that's 250 class. They're aggressive. And it results in the standings being all mixed up because everyone had bad first races. And Forkner won the first race with a bad second race. The only update we have on Forkner's condition is that he is in the hospital for evaluation of a shoulder injury. Yeah. Certainly, shoulder's not good, but it certainly could be worse than that.
This is a really tricky section. Was all night, and he hit that with too much speed, and the bike kind of blows through that the takeoff, and he doesn't get the pop and go high enough to downside that. And then when he does that, he gets kicked forward. Again, his feet comes off, and then his hands come off, and man, he hits hard on the concrete.
So in the end, both Forkner, the series leader in the 250 class, and Lawrence, the series leader in the 450 class, both went down while leading in the same section. So let's get a little analysis of what might have happened down there. We'll send it to Jason Thomas.
And this drone shot is exactly what Austin Forkner and Jet Lawrence would have seen in their main events. And you see the ruts, and they're stepping up and over this tabletop that I'm standing on. And the key here, what they want to do is they want to land on the downside, right? And that's going to give them control, and they're going to be able to determine their fate, which rut they pick on this next triple. But what happened to them is they clipped the top, and instead of landing on the downside, they landed about here, and that is a monumental difference because the forks compress here, and when they get that decompression of the forks, they don't have any idea where they're going anymore, and that's why you saw Jet Lawrence veer to the right, and that's why you saw Austin Forkner completely eject from his motorcycle, because they're not sure what's going to happen when they get that violent decompression. So it's, you know, it's inches that we're talking about in Monster Energy Supercross. When you have a track deteriorating the way this one was, you have to be absolutely perfect, and if you're not, things like what we saw happen.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.